Last time on Wimp to Warrior, Coach Richie chose a bunch of wimps to be trained as MMA fighters and to eventually fight in a cage. They trained, pushed a car, formed teams, met ref John Sharp.
You can't do this, you must.
Trained some more, had weddings and babies.
Let's go.
Did more training and met MMA fighter Mark Hunt.
And I gained that respect for it.
It's week 12 and it's time to get real. Time to learn specific fighting styles and skills. Scott, the striking coach, works out of the training grounds and is an expert in MMA, jiu-jitsu, kickboxing and boxing, starting at just 6 years old. He takes the wimps through the basics. Fabio is a state, national and Pan-Pacific champion in jiu-jitsu. He trains the wimps in the crucial ground game.
Put him in the knees.
You're falling that way, so try to bring it. Yeah. See how your knees point that way? Yeah.
Since their break, it's like the wimps have returned with more zeal, more fire in their bellies. It seems to be becoming more real for them. The training takes on a new intensity.
You're looking at shoulders, chin, that's, I don't care where it is, but that's all you stare at. Everything else you'll see.
Well connected in the MMA world, Coach Richie invites Peter Graham to take the wimps for a training session.
Yeah, so this morning's it's exciting for the guys. We're going to Peter Graham's gym. He's very well known in all combat sports basically in Australia. He's a national champion at karate, K1, kickboxing. He's got trophies after trophies after trophies. So he's a real ambassador to the sport, combat sport in general in Australia.
I walked into a gym.
Undefeated as an amateur, as a professional, Peter the Chief Graham has won multiple titles, including world titles in kickboxing, boxing and MMA.
One of the most important things I think is an attitude. And I think today we're going to do a very hard conditioning session. And that's really going to show me, and I guess themselves, if they've got the right attitude to be a fighter.
Peter stresses fitness as a match-winning tool, and he puts the wimps through a particularly punishing routine.
I remember Peter Graham telling us the best thing you can do when you go to fight is just to be fitter than your opponent. If there's one thing that you can be better at, is just to be fitter. He said the amount of times that he's fought and beaten a guy because he was fitter, he couldn't count.
My one bit of advice to all of you is be fit. Be fit. Fitness kills. If you don't have it, you'll get killed. If you have it, you'll smash people. Good. Hips down, hips down, hips down. Train hard, fight easy.
That was really hard, mainly because when we got split up into the circuit, everyone got paired up, and I didn't have a partner for that one, so I actually got paired up with Peter, and so he was keeping an eye on, but he was just flogging me. There was two parts to everything that I had to do both.
You got to win. You got to beat everyone here, even if we put in the sprints. Look over, have a smile on your face. Stand on the side. Bow, 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 bow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Swap on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Swap on the other side. Knee. Work hard. Hard work pays off, guys. You want to build confidence in yourself? Just work hard. At the very least, you'll turn up fit.
Yeah, look, I'm really pleased. I think the guys, I asked Peter to put them for the ringer today. It's a bit of a test because the cardio's been dropped back since Christmas. Had a break, they were doing strength conditioning and stuff before that. And we've been ramping up the skills and the sparring. So I was kind of concerned how they go today, but they're knackered, but they've done really well, really well.
His mindset was what I took away from that the most. Like he told us, Just like obviously it was physical and hard training, but I mean at the same time he just said, go in there thinking, you know, that you've got this, don't self-doubt, no self-doubt.
How hard do you want it? How much do you want it? And that's going to be the difference between winning and losing. The more you give up, the harder you work, the more you strive to get what you want. You know, the easier it is to get it. You throw those body punches, usually hit, pow, pow, pow. 20 seconds, 20 seconds. Those legs back. Okay, nice, good, fast movement. I just want to make champions. No, not just fight champions. I want to make people, you know, champions, confident, healthy, fit, lean, happy. And if I get to have someone who turns out to be a world champion, well, it will be all worthwhile. Make me happy too. And maybe when I'm an old guy, I can sit near the ring and yell at people, and they might even pay attention to me. Who knows?
Predictably, injuries take their toll.
Tonight's probably been the first night that I've been out, being a little bit more of a spectator, so viewing my other teammates and everything, having a bit of a role. Hopefully this is just a temporary thing. I had everything sort of lock up over the weekend, so a little bit of neck and back damage, so everything's just sort of locked up, and I'll be going to get some CT scans and just follow it up, take all the sort of corrective methods, and hopefully I'll be back on the mats in a few days to follow through with everything.
Heath is optimistic about his future. Despite his optimism, Heath will not return to Wimp to Warrior.
Just got off the phone with Heath. He's out, unfortunately. He's got an injury. He's had an MRI. Doctor told him he can't train for 6 months. So he's one of only 2 light heavyweights. So I'm going to have to look at Ryan now, who was going to be fighting, and maybe cut him down to middleweight. But it's unfortunate. I really like Heath. He's a good guy, very keen, but we've got to look after their safety, so he's out.
For Josiah, Wimp to Warrior represents a positive experience in his life.
I've got a lot of dreams, but after my music career kind of failed before it started, I fell in love with fighting and I want to pursue it.
Josiah's been one of the guys that's been on a real journey through this process.
He readily admits to being obsessive.
Definitely.
Not always with good results.
Very much against me. I'm the kind of person that if I start to like something, I have to be at the extremes. So I wanted to get fit at one stage, so straight away I was into bodybuilding, supplements, spending hundreds of dollars into absolutely everything.
He came to the series with, I guess you'd say, a fair bit of baggage. He's got a lot of history. He's had some real problems in his life growing up.
Yeah, life hasn't always been easy. I've struggled with depression since a young age, and I had been suicidal for quite a while, and struggled with addiction.
I've really seen him grow over the last sort of 10, 12 weeks, and I'm looking forward to seeing him progress even further. I think his focus is really coming into key now. He's training. You can really tell he's in the zone when he's training, whereas before he was a little bit all over the place.
Meanwhile, Jimmy, he of the impossibly low body fat percentage, is bulking up on track. Or is he?
When he first came in, we kind of looked at the guy and we thought he could snap at any point. So although he's pretty close to the weight that we'd be fighting at, but we needed to put some muscle on him, and he's doing that. His physique's really changing, so I think he'll have the ladies after him after this.
I feel fine. It was a bit of a shock to get that body fat reading. USN have put me on a diet and some supplements. They put me on some protein and mass gainer stuff. So I been smashing that for a few weeks, and I'm starting to feel a lot more healthier, definitely. As well as the training's going, do have a slight issue at the moment. I decided to leave my job in recruitment because it's just, can't do it anymore. It's just the worst job in the world. So with my visa, I've got 30 days to find a new job or I'm kicked out of the country.
Continuing Coach Richie's plan to broaden the Wimp's training experience, they pay a visit to Boxing Works, one of the oldest established fighting gyms in the country.
So I started off as a kid doing judo, and then I did Japanese jiu-jitsu and continued judo when I was at uni, and then got into boxing and Thai boxing. Learned a hand fight from a fighting.
MMA legend Larry Papadopoulos takes the class. Larry is one of the most experienced MMA fighters and was ranked world #1 in light heavyweight MMA. He knows his stuff.
That's one of the problems with most gyms is you don't make money out of fighters. So, thanks very much, guys.
One of the newest fighting gyms is Elite Fight Gym, run by Tama Tahuna, brother of James Tahuna.
Right now we're just going to do a bit of shadow sparring and stuff with the MMA gloves to move around. Inside leg kick. Short, and then coming again. Good. So I can land the right hand. Fast hands, fast hands. Big hook, big overhand, big hooks, power. But when you get in there, just fight. Don't think about too much, because you'll be there and go, be relaxed and enjoy it.
Yeah, about 10 minutes away. I'll let him know. Thanks, Hoyce.
Richie invites MMA royalty, Hoyce Gracie, to coach the Wimps for a session. Hoyce is from the famed Gracie family, the originators of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and Hoyce himself the winner of many tournaments, including his famous wins in UFC 1, 2, 4, and a draw in 5.
Today is an extremely special day for me. It's we got probably the biggest guest that I could possibly find for MMA, and that's Hoyce Gracie. He's pretty much the founder of what we're doing here today. It's a massive honour for me to have him at my gym and to train the guys, and I know the guys are super pumped for this. It's gonna be really interesting. So I'm actually really nervous to meet the guy. Welcome to the gym. But it's going to be exciting. I can't wait to. I'm sure he's got little tricks that he's going to show the guys that I've never seen before. So it's great for me as well as the guys. I'm sure I'm going to learn heaps from him as well.
Training with Hoyce Gracie was just an amazing experience. Some people consider him the god of MMA. And to get in there and not only get trained with him, to even roll with him, he even kicked me at one point. I was like, oh my God, Hoyce Gracie just kicked me. So that was cool.
Steps in.
Starting young, his amateur record is 51 wins with only 3 losses. Passionate about his sport and life in general, he's an inspiration to the Wimps.
That was an honour, an absolute honour to have him, and just walking around just critiquing what you're doing, and he's what started it all, pretty much. He is MMA.
So if I shoot in like this, I'm walking into the power knee, the power hand. So it's easier for me to switch and square off with him, because when I shoot in, I'm gonna tend to lean forward instead of lean backwards and be off balance.
Meeting him and training with him, and he used me to demonstrate quite a few things as well during the seminar. That was just terrific. Obviously, just a gold mine of experience and knowledge.
I don't want my head under his arm. He's gonna go for the guillotine. So my head's on his shoulder. I'll pull the hip, push the shoulder, the head. Back just a little bit, right? So you have to pull her in and break her back, and break the ES.
He was exactly what I wanted him to be. He told us about how important it is to not just fight and then go and get drunk and just train up when you need to train, but to live your life to be an athlete, to live your life to know that you have to be good at self-defense and you have to train hard. So that was amazing.
Do you smoke? Do you drink? You're serving as example for the student. It's not just being a tough guy, but then you're out drinking.
Really great person to learn under. And he had the Q&A session with him was phenomenal too, just seeing a good mindset for living, let alone mixed martial arts fighting.
There's a lot of talented people out there, there's a lot of tough guys out there, but without the discipline to get up and train, they won't stay on top forever. You gotta get up and train.
He conveyed his knowledge and he got down on the mat and was demonstrating with the guys. He's an amazing guy, and the talk he did after with the guys was fantastic.
As the reality of fight night approaches, the promoter and coach Richie are compelled to change the rules in the interest of good matches and safety. It's decided to restrict the use of elbows and some kicks to the head. Not everyone's pleased. Elbows particularly can be an important weapon in the MMA fighter's arsenal. At the same time, injuries and dropouts force new matchups.
To start off with, I was going to be fighting at welterweight, and I was a little bit, I was looking forward to putting on so much weight, getting a bit muscular and everything. Then it turns out that I was the closest in weight to the smallest competitor in the show, so I was going to fight below featherweight.
I got offered a job in the production Les Miserables. I've loved the Wimp to Warrior experience, but at the same time I've got to follow my dream, which is to be a performer.
Next time on Wimp to Warrior.
The girl that I was supposed to fight dropped out on Friday.
Will Richie find an opponent for Val in time? At the weigh-in, one of the Wimps doesn't meet their weight. Will they be allowed to fight?
This is the official weigh-in for Wimp to Warrior. It is over, has not made weight just yet. Switch it to the ball. It's completely in your court. The ball is in your court at the moment. You can accept the fight as it stands.
And the Wimps prepare to step into the cage for the very first time.
First 10 seconds when they get punched in the face, they won't like that person in front of them at all. No matter how good friends they are, they'll be fighting for real.